What's going on, guys, in the works? And let's get a show of hands here. How many of you guys have gone out of your way to grind out all the DMRs? I'm sure a lot of you guys actually have done that, and you know how painful it is because, let's face it, I think the DMRs are maybe a little bit underpowered. You know, a 4-bullet kill at the maximum range can get a little bit frustrating considering how hard it is to use the DMRs. But I know people out there are obsessed with unlocking all the weapons, and DMRs were something that I would consider probably the most challenging weapon tier to unlock. That and maybe shotguns, just because there's not a lot of good close quarters maps. And oh, who said the boats need increased air defense? I don't know what that poll was smoking, but I think the boats are just fine against air defense. But we're going to be talking about DMRs today and Player Appreciation Month, but I'm retitling it DMR Appreciation Month because that's essentially what we're getting. So if you haven't checked out the blog, which I'm sure most of you guys have, essentially we're going to be getting shortcuts. If you're a premium member, you're going to get shortcuts for the shotguns and the DMRs. You're also going to get shortcuts for the pistols, just if you have the game, as well as the grenades. Now I would hope that everyone's unlocked the grenades. That's probably one of the simpler unlock tiers there is, but if you haven't, you're going to be able to progress with these shortcuts. Now, a lot of people are against shortcuts. They're like, oh man, these are stupid, especially when you have to pay for shortcuts. I think that a lot of people see that as a pay-to-win type scenario. It's never really bothered me. It's just been like, whatever. If people want to invest their money into that, all the power to them. I would rather grind it out and not pay any money. But that being said, this is part of the Player Appreciation Month, and now we get the DMRs. So if you haven't taken the time to get your DMRs unlocked, DICE is going to do it for you. And a lot of people may be upset about that. I've seen some mixed opinions about it. It seems like overall the community is a little bit negative on the Player Appreciation Month because they feel like it's DICE trying to basically persuade us to keep playing, because one of the initiatives of Player Appreciation Month is the fact that every day you log in, you essentially are going to get a battle pack. You know, a bronze or silver battle pack. I think on the weekends you get a silver, during the day or the weekdays you actually get a bronze. But regardless of DICE's intention, I still find this kind of interesting because it's a little bit early on, in my opinion, in the game to start offering shortcuts, especially with weapon tiers and unlocks, just because it is something that makes the game fun. You know, the gradual progression to unlock weapons is a satisfying aspect. At least it was in Battlefield 3. Now, it's a little bit different in Battlefield 4, and I think they finally realized, hey, maybe we should have kept shotguns and DMRs in sort of like one of the tiers, similar to like, you know, the ACR. In order to unlock the ACR, you had to play it as the engineer. I think they should have done something similar with the shotguns. Maybe you can play as support and you'll gradually unlock all the shotguns. Maybe you use recon, you'll gradually unlock all the DMRs, and then they can be used on any kits. I don't know. Just something to make the weapon progression throughout the game a little bit more natural. Don't force people to use a weapon class they don't like to unlock some weapons. Now, it doesn't bother me personally, but I know a lot of people do feel that way. And I talked about in one of my videos in regards to DMRs that perhaps it is a little bit too early to judge DMRs. And my logic there was simply, there's still a lot of netcode issues. There's still a lot of people out there that are experiencing, you know, hit detection issues and just things not going right in terms of bullets going where they expect them to go. You know, same old song and dance. We've heard it a million times. We talk about it in every video. And I said, well, maybe it's too early to judge DMRs until we actually get a stable netcode, stable hit detection. But luckily, there is a fix for that. You know, they're taking their time with this patch. It seems like they're actually putting some thought into it, and they claim they actually have a fix for the netcode. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe DMRs will all be unlocked, and you know that will be spammed to the end of time with them, and we'll finally realize, hey, maybe they were a lot stronger than we initially thought they were. I don't know. I mean, as a person that doesn't really rely on them too much, I've never really been a big DMR guy. I didn't use them a lot in Battlefield 3, and I've been using them here off and on lately just to get a feel for them. After I saw they're going to unlock them all, I was like, okay, well, I'm done with that. I'll just wait, and then I'll have them all unlocked. So if you're currently grinding it out for the DMRs and or the shotguns, just stop. You know, you're going to get the shortcut if you want. It is an optional shortcut, so if you do enjoy doing that, you will still be able to grind it out and unlock them all naturally. But if you're tired of it, you'll have the shortcuts at your hands, your fingertips. But I do want to point one little tip and tricks type thing out in this video. You may notice that someone in my squad is running the SOFLAM. And the great thing about the SOFLAM is that when you lock onto things, the SRAW can actually lock onto them. And you'll notice that I'm doing like 55 damage to a lot of different things. And that's because when you lock onto something, you're actually going to do more damage to it than if you didn't lock onto it. Because typically the SRAW does like, I think between like 22 and 24. I think that's about what it does, depending on where you hit it, you know, the angle that you hit it. So if you're locked onto it, you can actually do a lot of damage to these things. And you might say, well, why is that the case? Well, essentially what's happening is your SRAW is going up like a javelin and coming down on the top of the tank or the boat, you know, where it's the most vulnerable. So you can do a lot more damage when you've got someone in your squad running SOFLAM. So I just wanted to point that out. I think a lot of people tend to forget that, and you know, I didn't even remember it up until this game. I was like, oh yeah, I completely forgot about that being in the game. But you know, it's definitely something that's very useful if you're dealing with a lot of people, you know, spamming vehicles. You can't seem, you know, you guys are the only ones taking care of them. A squad with some SRAWs and some SOFLAMs can really do some work. But that's it for this video, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. You know, a little DMR action, a little SRAW action, a little tips and tricks. But if you did miss any of my past videos, here's a chance to catch up. And let me know what you guys think about this Player Appreciation Month. Do you think it's a gimmick, or are you actually kind of looking forward to it? And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.